Welcome to Breakfast with Bob from Triathlon Businesses International. My name is Bob Babbitt, and we're actually sponsored by Babbitttville.com, EnduranceSportswear.com, and RacePlace.com. Our next guest from Silverline, Mr. Holden Comeau. And I did it again. Holden Comeau.
It's Holden Comeau. You got it.
So, Holden, take me back. Your background, swimming?
I was a swimmer. Yep. Got my start as an athlete as a swimmer.
Yeah.
Swam all through my youth and put myself through college.
As a swimmer?
As a swimmer. Finish off my collegiate swimming career.
Penn State?
At Penn State. With a little left in the tank.
So you were still hungry? You still wanted to do something athletically?
I was still a little bit hungry after that, yeah. And
you went to the Olympic trials?
I did. In 2000, I was a swimming All-American at Penn State. Went to the Olympic trials. Finished in the round top 20 or so, which wasn't quite was great. Was a lifelong dream for me, but wasn't quite at the point where I could really do anything else with swimming.
And you know what's so tough about that? You come out of a collegiate career in swimming, or even a lot of times in track and other sports like that, and then it's like, you want to still be an athlete or be a professional athlete, and really, there's not many professional swimmers.
That's right. It's all post Phelps. It's gotten a lot better, I think, in the world of professional swimming. But at the end of my career, there wasn't much opportunity.
Right. So triathlon became the next thing. Now you were also a musician at the same time?
I was indeed. I kind of tried my hand at a number of different things. Kind of a bit of a jack of all trades.
What instrument?
I was primarily a singer, and I played the guitar as well. Recorded an album. And,
while living in New York.
I was in New York. Thought I was going to be a musician, but really couldn't deny my athletic roots. Triathlon was something that was always kind of on the back of my mind. I certainly knew about triathlon. It's rooted in swimming. I ran track and cross country when I was younger.
Sure.
Kind of got connected with a triathlon community in New York City. Someone loaned me a bike to borrow, told me about a triathlon that was happening outside of the city. I went out to it. My first race, had no idea what I was doing. Crushed the field in the swim.
Yes.
And was thinking, this is the
no
easiest thing in the world.
Yeah.
And 2 miles down the road on the bike, everyone came flying by me.
Yes.
But I was hooked after that, and made up my mind probably the next day or so that something that I really wanted to invest some time in.
Yes.
Really kind of dove right in with both feet.
Became a pro in 07?
Became a pro about a year after that first race.
Yeah.
And made my way through the pro world. I was always mid-pack, maybe towards the back of the mid-pack in the pro field.
Right.
And eventually towards the end, I found a bit of success. It wasn't something that I think it wasn't something that I could wrap my whole lifestyle around. I in the middle of that process of being a pro, I got married. I had a son. I was really rooted in Philadelphia, and so it was. I loved it. It was a wonderful experience. I loved triathlon, but I was thinking. Towards the end, I was looking for something else. I always felt as though my experiences as a professional triathlete was somewhat of a gateway into something else in the industry.
And when did Silverline come about?
Silverline came about after about 5 or 6 years into my professional career, through a relationship that I had built through the Philadelphia triathlon community, where I'm based and where Silverline is based. My partner Jamie Goldberg and I got together, and she was a local triathlete as well. Through our kind of relationships there,
right.
we started to brainstorm a bit on some of the opportunities that we saw in triathlon and endurance sports in general. Both very passionate endurance sport athletes, and we really, I think, both had a mutual appreciation for what the event production companies did in our industries. The events we really saw as the lifeblood where everyone's passions are sort of focused. I think triathlon in particular, that is, triathletes in general, unlike running, triathletes don't just go out and participate casually in triathlon training. It's always geared towards a specific
goal.
Event.
They're going for an event.
Towards an event. So we saw that as a real focal point. And at the same time, we just because of our experiences, we saw the challenges that event directors faced in terms of competition between multiple events and how difficult it was to actually put on a successful triathlon event. So we started to brainstorm ways that we might be able to have an impact and help the events. And the obvious choice for us was in the digital realm. We saw that most event production companies are they're wonderful at doing what they do.
They focus on putting on events.
They focus on putting on events.
When it comes to social media, when it comes to digital, it's sort of they better find somebody else.
That's right, and we saw relative to many other industries, we felt as though the endurance sports space was a bit behind in their advancements in the digital space. So we started to focus our attention there. It happened to, it was a confluence of a number of different factors, but it seemed to us that video in particular was a real focal point. Because of the stories that can be told in the sport. It's a sport. It lends itself well to video production.
And that's our background. You think about the NBC Ironman show, human interest stories is what really drives people to our sport.
Exactly. And looking at that and kind of marrying that to some of the advancements in digital video, what's happening on the internet in general. Video is really just a booming focus for every industry. Tons of advancements in technology making it easier to not just create video content but consume video content. We wanted to focus our attention in that realm and try to build out a company that could specifically help event directors establish themselves with a bit more of a media presence and realize the value of the audience that they do such a great job at engaging.
Right. So does Silverline produce video, or do you help race directors distribute the video? What is really the role of Silverline?
We are distributors.
Okay.
We made a decision early on that we're not the creative type. We didn't want to be a creative company. We didn't want to necessarily go and make video content, primarily because we didn't want to tell the story of what the event director can tell way more effectively.
Right.
We wanted to empower our partners to tell their story and provide a platform in which they could distribute that content in an effective way.
Okay, and so talk about one of the examples that we talked about, Marine Corps Marathon, and how they used content, how they used Silverline to really enhance the video that they had already produced.
Sure. Marine Corps Marathon was one of our first partners, and we've had a wonderful partnership with them, and we've seen over the past few years the progression and what they've been able to accomplish with their efforts in video. What we've done is really provide them a platform that they can more effectively manage their brand and tell their story in a way that really thoroughly engages their audience and is in line with all the other practices they have in place to build their community. Marine Corps Marathon is a great example because they do such a tremendous job at engaging their community already. It's an event that there's 25,000-30,000 participants who run that race. It sells out in a couple hours. There's more people who want to run that race. They do a really effective job at building that community and maintaining that community. And a large portion of that is is the message that they deliver and how they broadcast the value and the core of what the Marine Corps Marathon is all about. We've allowed them to tell that story with video in a way that gives them a lot more power and control over how they deliver that message, as not necessarily an alternative to using an open platform such as YouTube.
Right.
YouTube is still a major component into how they engage their audience. With our platform, it's private. It's a video platform that's integrated onto their website, and they can target that message through our platform and engage their audience in a way that is a bit more narrow-casted and a bit more focused.
Right. I mean, one of the problems we all face with online is, especially the event guys, is driving enough traffic to their sites to make that a viable option for somebody buying numbers, right? There are
Sure.
a lot of times especially your non-endemic guys are buying. How many people are coming to your site?
Right.
How many people are watching your video, and you're saying 2,000-3,000? They're going, oh no, thanks.
Right.
So it seems like that's what you guys are trying to do is help people bump those numbers up.
We definitely are. And you're right that particularly from a non-endemic brand standpoint, you can't get around the need to have a large aggregate audience.
Exactly.
You've got to have those eyeballs in order to satisfy the needs of a large brand. What our approach to this business, to our business, is that we're able to now, and we have over the past couple of years, we've aggregated a large enough audience that collectively the Silverline Now network, which is really made up of a number of over 200 Marine Corps marathons throughout
Right.
the U.S. and the U.K., we have that audience size now. So we can engage in the conversations with non-endemic brands and satisfy their marketing needs, whether it's digital advertising, digital sponsorship, and we can activate in a number of different ways, sponsored content
Right.
as well.
So basically, you've got this group of events around the world, and you're able to sell sponsors based on not just Marine Corps Marathon, but all the conglomerate.
Exactly. Yeah, and what is a trend that's happening right now in digital advertising, digital monetization in general, that is really important to the value of Silverline Now network. Engagement is extremely important, and the contextual environment in which a brand is interacting with a consumer really makes a big difference. Technology today is such that a brand can target an individual user no matter where they are.
Right.
A brand can find someone who they want to advertise to when they're on YouTube looking at a cat video. But if that same consumer is on the Marine Corps Marathon site consuming video content on Marine Corps Marathon because they're participating in the Marine Corps Marathon, contextually, that's a very different experience. That person is interacting with that brand at a real passion point. This is a person who's defining their life over the course of a year, largely about their experience around the Marine Corps Marathon. So that engagement and being able to access a large audience at a passion point is a valuable experience to be able to create.
So moving from the professional triathlon ranks to Silverline has it been, obviously it's a big challenge. What are your goals in the next couple of years for Silverline?
The goals for the next couple of years. It's a great question. We're a startup company, so
Yeah.
I think we're always looking down the road a little bit, but it's hard not to focus on just today and the next day sometimes.
Sure.
I joke a bit about that. I think over the next couple of years, some of the things that we're really working hard to do are continually to build our network and to partner with more events, set up more platforms to build the size of that aggregate audience. At the same time, we know that one of the challenges that we've heard from all of our event partners is the need to make content more accessible.
Yes.
There is a desire for all of our event partner audiences to consume content to a great degree, and it's difficult for our event partners to produce enough content to really satisfy that. So we are looking at content partnerships. We still want to remain agnostic on creating content ourselves, but we see ourselves as a great distribution platform. We can partner with organizations who are sophisticated and talented content creators and provide a platform to distribute that to our audience.
And potentially taking some of that content and putting it on those other websites.
Exactly.
Love that.
Yeah.
You mean something like Babbittville or something like that?
Like Babbittville, distributing Babbittville. We know that.
Not being self-serving in any way, shape, or form. I would never do that.
We know that. Well, I think we know your audience are the same people who are participating in the Marine Corps Marathon.
Exactly.
And if we can make it easy to get Babbittville content in front of all the participants of the Marine Corps Marathon, then that's a win for everyone.
Love that. Holden, thank you so much.
Thank you, Bob.
Holden Comeau.
Holden Comeau.
Holden Comeau. I'm changing your name. Holden Comeau has been our guest. Hold on, everyone. We will be right back.
Thanks.